Good day everyone. In this presentation, I'm going to discuss the transformation of a 60,000 user PowerServer success story from PowerServer 2020 installable web app to PowerServer 2025 installable cloud app. Let me pop up for a second the usual disclaimer for this kind of presentation. The agenda is divided in two main parts: an introduction of the PowerServer project that has been happily in production since 2010 in the very early days of Appian Web Solutions. Topics covered include an all-around description of the application service model, the key metrics of the project, and also something that I consider very valuable, the customer feedback on the PowerServer solution, customer satisfaction and perspective. Next, the gist of this presentation, a number of advantages resulting from the installable cloud app architecture as compared to the previous installable web app. I will cover import-export, printing, project distribution, usability of the application suite, build and deployment, installable cloud app only features, but also a few annoyances. Thereafter, I will demo the application, and last, of course, conclusions. Few words about myself. I've been Appian MVP for quite some time now, enjoying PowerServer since the early days when it was Appian Server for Java, all-around trainer in Appian products. I like JavaScript frameworks like Vue.js that let me build web frontend combined with solid server backend based on the Appian.NET data store. But also I spend a good portion of my time maintaining legacy PowerBuilder client-server applications that are still good. They manage well the business and need the regular enhancements. I have a PhD in big data and machine learning. Projects I have completed this year. I'm an Appian consultant and therefore put my hands in a lot of customers' PowerBuilder application. 6 of them are considerably big and have been migrated to latest PowerBuilder 2025. 3 large conversions to PowerServer 2025 from client-server architecture. So customers that decided to go to cloud and HTTP-only communication between the app front-end and the backend. Also maintenance of an Android iOS app driven by .NET Data Store, but also climbing the highest mountain in Europe, certainly the biggest physical effort of my life. This presenter picture was taken on the summit. We were 6 people, 3 PowerBuilder developers. So PowerBuilder rocks also at 5,000 meter altitude. Let's start then. As I said, the PowerBuilder project I will be presenting is a PowerServer success story, a multi-tenant 60,000 user applications in the Italian healthcare. You will learn a bit of architecture and on top of all, the challenge behind the transformation from the old family of PowerServer to the new one. The PowerBuilder project deployed as a PowerServer app is called Alphabox. It is an integrated solution for healthcare service and targets tasks like HR management, performance evaluation, budgeting, process optimization. It is currently installed at 67 sites, including the major hospitals in the country, clinical institutes, and healthcares. It is a cloud service. The software is deployed at the cloud farm and used over the internet by all sites, no local installation. The map shows, this clumsy, boot-shaped yet awesome country called Italy. The red point is the location of the server farm, very close to the offices of the product owner. The green dots all over the country are customers' installation. At present, there are 63,000 users registered in the systems and counting. A brief history of Alphabox evolution. The first version was rolled out in 2010, very few sites, but imperative was central software distribution and client automatic updates, not to be bothered by on-site hiccups that would not have scaled in the long term, as the company was looking for more and more customers. Rather, Appian Web installed straight on a public dedicated server. Appian technology at that time was called Accelerator. It allowed to run the front end from a web browser, installing a web plugin and a web library. Then customers quickly grew up over the next years, and distribution became installable-web-app. That was in 2017. Installable-web-app offers a smoother user experience. In 2023, we began the transformation from old to new PowerServer. Multiple reasons for that, but of course, first and foremost, the end of life of installable web app announced by Appian. Not a quick step through, because around 50 institutes were using Alphabox software suite, and already almost 50,000 users require careful planning of the phase out. So not a switch off for all, but in 2024, a rollout of the installable cloud app version at 3 pilot institutes. This year, completion of the migration to installable cloud app, an announcement that installable web app is officially deprecated and will be closed end of 2025. No single feature enhancement has been released, as a further motivation to move all customers to installable cloud app. 2026, January 1st, decommission of installable web app and installable cloud app only available. Key metrics. Let me pop up some numbers to better depict how Alphabox is handling large volumes of employee detail data to meet requirements on HR policy and job performance. So participating institutes are 67 at the moment, many hospitals, healthcare centers, clinics. The number of employees per institute is ranging between 800 and 6,000, especially when they are located in the capital Rome, where complexity becomes a challenge. Around 270,000 annual individual profiles is the number of employees being processed every year, which leads to approximately 2.5 million of employees' scores, meaning individual performance evaluation. Alphabox is a collaborative software, and users have roles, different profiles, and tasks must be completed with request, approval, and routing steps that are controlled by the application, but also by emails notifications. This is why Alphabox generates about 250,000 emails every year. And also, from different angles, per institute economic budget ranges between 1 million and 10 million euros. Registered users are more than 63,000, bringing the number of concurrent sessions as high as 1,000 in peak periods. This makes us very happy, because it is a great load test for our server and software infrastructure, but it also put a smile on Appian's face in terms of license cost. Automation, very important. The return on investment for the customers. 95% of automations refers to management processes that have been automated by the software. 70% reduction of personnel dedicated to the system management, which can be therefore employed in other activities. And 85% reduction of process workflow management time. System architecture. Alphabox has been designed as an internet application since the very beginning, bearing in mind that it had to deliver good responsiveness and low latency like PowerBuilder applications running on local area network. This pushed the boundaries of the implementation techniques to maximize data caching and minimize server calls over the internet. So let's start with version currently based on PowerServer 2020. Backend is installed on Microsoft IaaS to allow connection from installable web apps. Over time, external components have been included, like SOAP web service, custom DLL, and a built-in PowerServer file service. Alphabox, with its modules, is a multi-tenant application, each tenants with their own isolated database and resources, while sharing the underlying infrastructure and a login database. We have a simple yet effective backup system, so every night a copy is created and daily copies are synced via Dropbox service to off-site server farm. Restore time of any database backup takes less than 1 minute. A couple of years ago, the migration to PowerServer 22 first and 2025 later begins, thus deploying installable cloud app. Today, both PowerServer 2020 and PowerServer 2025 are working together, mainly to drive a coordinated transition spanning dozens of institutes and many, many thousands of clients' machines. Snap develops and PowerServer offers an entire new development scenario based on REST API and .NET Data Store. Therefore, JWT authentication, sign up, password forgot, and some dashboard services. But the list of extended services that the server API layer can interface is much richer. Postmark is our mail service, capable of sending thousands of emails notifications every day to inform users they must log in and take actions. Two-factor authentication is enabled with registered mobile devices so that Alphabox complies with European regulation for data protection, so-called GDPR, a short for General Data Protection Regulation. Then we have document management via HTTP download upload functionality, which is our replacement of the PowerServer 2020 file service plugin that was dismissed, in the new PowerServer version. Finally, third-party services like patient invoices and medical records are also available via REST API calls, and an interface that is natively supported in PowerBuilder and PowerServer via HTTP client objects and allows to cooperate with any external service over the cloud. Last, a pure web client is also deployed. It interfaces the server API, and it is there because some services do not really go along with the concept of Cloud App Launcher and installable Cloud App, but they need a pure web user interface. Over past edition of Elevate, I have presented a few projects built with Vue.js for the front end and .NET Data Store for the back end. This kind of web client nicely complements PowerServer framework. The web front end is a welcome gadget, but taken alone would not pay off in terms of return of investment. Alphabox customers expect quick implementation of rich, fast changing mission-critical features, and PowerServer is a very versatile and reliable development framework that leverages 100% of PowerBuilder skills. This slide shows the advantages of PowerServer from the product owner perspective. A small company that offers specialized consulting services in healthcare and is selling Alphabox licenses based on the software as a service model. I asked them to contribute in this presentation by listing why this project is a success story, and they came up with a number of adjectives like flexibility. It is no surprise considering the code is in PowerBuilder, so super easy implementation and customization in relation to specific customer needs. Highest ROI, that is very significant point. Customer is a small company of 9 people with only one part-time external developer, myself, and this small team has developed the software used today by over 60,000 professionals. Scalability. PowerServer allows to increase workloads and user demands while maintaining performance, responsiveness, and reliability. Then interoperability. PowerServer has the ability to integrate with other systems. I mentioned the application features two-factor authentication, LDAP integration, third-party software for patient invoices and medical records, and so on and so forth. Efficiency. The cloud architecture and the software as a service model makes super quick inclusion of new customers. And intuitiveness. Good user experience for all level of users. PowerBuilder UI components are not as catchy as HTML5, but with a bit of dedication and creativity, the results can be pleasing. But what is the key element of this success? Of course, the data window. Data window is the key of PowerBuilder's success over decades. It offers real-time processing and presentation of thousands of employees' work performance and personal records. So there are 3 views that can display data with many multi-level of totals and grand total strategic data. Tabular data window that can group dozens of thousands rows in a blink of an eye and expand those groups with ease and speed. Multi-page composite data window can generate the richest reports and can challenge any specialized reporting tool from Crystal Reports to WineWord or Microsoft Power BI. Graphs, especially in the latest PowerBuilder versions that includes revamped charts or JavaScript libraries that can render in the web browser objects. Or catchy agenda with available slots, all is data windows. But data window is also great for taking the user experience to another level. This is Alphabox showing left side collapsible menu, so-called hamburger, action bar in place of legacy toolbar, dynamic chips at the top to reference open screens and offer quick navigation, implementation of mouse over event for all controls, thus improving user feedback, search, filter box triggering filter as you type or highlighting matching rows. Everything is a data window filled of computed expressions, easy to maintain. Let me move now to the very gist of these sessions, pros and cons in relation to this specific project and its recent migration from IWA to ICA. Technical aspects that most of the times have improved application functionality, user experience, and software distributions. but in few cases have been a little of an hassle. PowerBuilder apps are usually ERP, CRM, data-centric applications, and they commonly include import-export functionality. This is because end users require data save as for offline processing or reporting, or maybe app administrations perform ETL, whatever. ICA is native code. It relies on PowerBuilder virtual machine instead of JavaScript client library like installable-web-app. Native means faster processing and quicker string manipulation when formatting text output or reading text for SQL import. Alphabox is not just offering DataWindow import file from CSV or save as. To ensure compatibility across different locales, it has historically used its own formatting, including delimiters, decimal separators, single double quotes, dates, and timestamps. And overall, it got a 50% performance boost with respect to installable web app. Excel export has also improved. You can produce the best data window report, but still there will be customers saying, yes, but can I export to Excel and do my own sorting and grouping? So IWA Save as Excel was limited to Excel 8 compatibility, which is fine in most of the cases, but the big issue is cell truncation beyond the 256 characters. If you have data window columns larger than 256 characters, which is quite normal, Save as will truncate data, and users will complain a lot. This was a limitation of IWA and JavaScript. Of course, PowerBuilder client server never had this issue. Now that ICA generates PB native frontend, we have Save as Excel working just fine with no cutoff. A classic PDF processing. When a PDF is produced, users also like to preview the printout. Visualization with IWA has always been limited by the only viewer component available, the legacy Microsoft web browser ActiveX. Of course, without purchasing third-party licensed components. New PowerServer instead features the PowerBuilder web browser control, and it is great. PowerServer 2020 had a limitation when it comes to PDF production because its legacy PDF engine generates image-based PDF. The PDF is a rastered image. You cannot select text, the quality is poor. Not a criticism, of course, that has been a very honest built-in PDF generator for years, allowing to generate PDF reports from the web app, but over time users have begun to argue about quality. And luckily, ICA offers high-quality PB native PDF and lately also PDF Builder and PDF document objects for advanced manipulation. Distribution is based on Cloud App Launcher component rather than installable web app runner tool. It's very handy and flexible and offers smooth installations, first of all, in environments where system administrators favor a central installation rather than a first step setup by individual users. Digital signature is a great option available during deployment to ensure flawless download and installation. This results in enhanced system compatibility with firewalls, more screen, domain policies, etc. that always more and more frequently block untrusted executable like Cloud App Launcher and installable Cloud App EXEs. A big advantage of ICA over IWA is that multiple users can start PowerServer apps on same PC. By doing Windows change user, IWA runner is not stopped and the new logged user cannot start PowerServer app unless first user actually disconnects. With ICA instead, Windows users can switch among each other on same PC and the Cloud App Launcher always takes care of starting ICA correctly. PB Autobuild is a great tool for continuous deployment, continuous integration with code download from version control systems, code merge into PBLs, project build, and project deploy to remote app servers. Usability. Well, at the end of 2024, there was actually an episode that marked the end of IWA. And at least as far as Alphabox Frontend is concerned, at the public administration environments where it is used, this episode made it clear that the rollout of ICA had to be accelerated. So overnight, Windows 11 24H2 update resulted in empty data windows, all of them showing no rows whatsoever content. An Appian knowledge base promptly documented the bug. All PowerServer IWA rely on systems JavaScript engine. Windows 11 24H2 has modified the JavaScript engine mechanism, which causes PowerServer 2020 or earlier to fail to run properly. Workaround was available in the aftermath of that nasty day, at least to show customers and tens of thousands of users that we were aware of the issue and a fix was in progress. But the workaround consisted of tweaking Windows registry and restore legacy JavaScript engine. We quickly realized that the IT departments rejected the workaround for allegedly understandable security reason, and thereafter IWA was doomed. Toolbar, all that glitters is not gold. We also experienced an unpleasant side effect in ICA. Users with admin or coordination roles have a classic UI, so not the fancy one that I showed you previously, with PowerBuilder standard MDI and toolbars that are found in most of the client-server PowerBuilder applications because it's just useful to have multiple sheets and complex data window. In these scenarios, Alphabox ICA resulted in graphical degradation, namely reduced quality of fonts and icons, and also truncated labels in the toolbars. So this is an example of toolbar use in the application deployed as IWA. Just fine. Same toolbar in ICA shows poorer font quality and icon pixelation. So by chance, while struggling with multiple attempts to redesign the icons with no success, we applied a theme and noticed the quality was back. Of course, PowerBuilder themes were out of scope because Alphabox applies a lot of data window computer expression for background and foreground, so it only uses a custom theme with no icons and only menu selections in the theme JSON conf file. Even if quality is back, themes truncate long labels. You see, some text is cut off, and this is still a problem today. Technical reason for this degradation is that when not using a theme, the toolbar content is drawn using GDI. When using a theme, it is drawn using GDI+. So in light of these reasons, we will move to the ribbon bar in the next Alphabox version. One of the main advantages of ICA is it supports by default all new PowerBuilder controls and objects that Appian keeps introducing or enhancing at each new PowerBuilder version. So IWA quickly lost sync from PowerBuilder. Therefore, application evolution was doomed. Examples of these components very useful are the ribbon bar, of course, I just mentioned, the issues with Toolbar. Therefore, Alphabox is looking forward to apply Toolbar to ribbon bar replacement soon. PowerBuilder web browser for document preview or JavaScript-based charts offers greater functionality than the legacy Microsoft ActiveX web browser. Accessing cloud resources has improved a lot because more advanced version of HTTP client, REST client, and JSON objects if compared to the same available in PowerBuilder 2019 revision 3, the latest version supporting PowerServer IWA. UI teams who gave us at least an acceptable workaround to resolution loss in toolbars, and the new PowerBuilder, PDF Builder, and PDF document objects because we got requests to generate PDF with watermarks or merge multiple documents in one, and that we have now in PowerBuilder without the need of third-party libraries. This slide is more related to code maintenance and build. As you know, PowerBuilder 2025 allows to switch from PowerBuilder workspace to solution. This has the advantage to avoid PBL merging and has pain-free Git integration. You can, for example, even open, track, and maintain your PowerBuilder source code from Visual Studio. This has also the advantage to reduce build time. The table highlights three facts. ICA 2025 can fully build Alphabox when the source code is structured using solution 3 times faster than 2020 and 2022 using workspace. This is expected, and it is one of the main reasons to move to PowerBuilder 2025. The new PowerBuilder compiler and its new multi-process, multi-threaded engine allows to save lots of time, especially during repeated quick fix build publish round trips. Alphabox full build goes from roughly 9 minutes down to little more than 3 minutes. Second line here shows that ICA 2025 incremental build, so when code is structured as a solution, is almost 3 times faster than 2022 with workspace. 4 minutes 41 seconds in PowerServer 22 down to 1 minute 57 in 2025, including Cloud App Launcher and PowerBuilder runtime deployment, or from 3 minutes 10 seconds down to 1 minute 25 seconds when incremental build is done without redeploying Cal and PowerBuilder runtime because, of course, they are not changing after first deployment. I personally miss the lightning fast IWA incremental build. It was in a different league, but that of course depends mostly on PowerServer 2020 runtime being a pre-installed engine in IIS server, while with ICA the server API must be generated and republished every time. Let me conclude with some annoyances in the new PowerServer. First, hotfixing is trickier. As I mentioned in previous slide, when deployment to remote IIS server is done, typically via web deploy, server API DLL can be locked and stop and restart of application pool from IIS console is needed. In PowerServer 2020, all the web files are updated, so PowerServer runtime is not affected by redeployment and therefore hotfixing is smooth. App startup is slower. Server sync during the Cloud App Launcher splash screen takes more time than IWA startup. It is a matter of 2-3 seconds, but when users are used to click on desktop shortcut and see the app login screen straight off, the delay in ICA is noted, even if short. From Snap Develop 2025, you can compile, publish, extend the server API projects, but all PowerBuilder related tools have been removed. PowerBuilder workspace inclusion is missing, so no quick navigation option through the PowerBuilder code. This has also the consequence that data window converter has been removed and can start from a data window to generate a custom API. And PowerServer to C# migrator has also been removed and cannot transform a PowerBuilder business logic to C# business logic. That's a commercial strategy from Appian, and we respect it. Now, time for a demo. Let me give you a short idea of Alphabox, but first, more importantly, quick review of the PowerServer project from PowerBuilder 2025 IDE. Very important to any PowerServer project is digital signature. Otherwise, you will experience antivirus, Windows Smart Screen, etc. blocking untrusted exe being downloaded. The security panel here lets you sign the software with code signing certificate. Until a few months back, we used the Microsoft Sign tool and the PFX certificate. Recently, we have moved to a different CA that has provided its own signing tool, so we do signature through a batch script. Deployment can be done directly from PowerBuilder, although there are PB auto build scripts performing nightly build from Git repo of so-called trunk version, a version available every morning to UAT. As usual in PowerServer project, the ICA can start from either the web browser or the desktop link. So login page is presented. This counter at the bottom is showing there are at the moment more than 300 active sessions. So logging in to some past years. And selecting one of the module my user is licensed to. Two-factor authentication pops up asking for a PIN number generated by Google Authenticator. So 009610. This is a screen example. I mentioned we massively rely on DataWindow for user interface. So left side collapsible and expandable menu. Action bars lets the user to perform typical CRUD operations on presented data, as well as we have, for example, the possibility to attach document via REST API. The web browser control nicely preview the document. This is a feature that was very limited in installable-web-app. We have dynamic chips on top. Okay. They are used to reference open screens and offer quick navigation. Mouse over event is implemented all over the screen content, thus improving user feedback. We have a search box that can trigger send search or filter as you type. For example, D is highlighting basically all the rows here. I am in search mode. Let me type M, so the number of rows now is matching DM is only 3, otherwise they are filtered. Okay, search and filter. Back to the presentation. Why PowerServer then? Hope you got a grasp of how many functionality Alphabox has implemented over time. All started back in 2011, 2010 from nothing, just a bunch of ideas in the mind of the company's CEO. Resources in terms of skilled consultants were limited, also money was limited, but there was the ambition to build an app that could be distributed from the web and supporting the expertise the company has in the healthcare domain. So when I was asked how to build a software, I was busy with my PhD in computer science, quite up with the times. I mean Java and the Linux-based open source solutions, but I stepped back and said, wait, here we need to build a real product with a rapid development framework with a solid data manipulation controls like the DataWindow. We need to make money and convince customers we are not just yet another product in the domain. We need a dev framework that let us concentrate only on the functional aspects and not the software architecture, working with agile approach, etc. So I had already experience with Appian Web and its fast development curve. In little more than a decade, Alphabox is today a leading solution in Italy in the healthcare performance evaluation, budgeting, and process optimization. Simple yet effective software as a service license model used by many hundreds concurrent sessions every day, spread across multiple institutes over a solid and modern software architecture orchestrated by a small company of around 10 people and one only part-time developer that has blind faith in the unbeatable productivity of PowerBuilder and PowerServer. Final slide, summary of the transformation from IWA to ICA. When Appian announced IWA end of life, there was no time to be nostalgic or disapproving, maybe regrets for the missing 2-day PowerServer mobile deployment, but the real business in Alphabox comes from an installable cloud app, not a mobile dashboard or a web front end. So ICA supports all PowerBuilder features introduced over the last few years. No unsupported features commonly found in PowerServer 2020. Debugging of an installable cloud app is smooth and integrated as in PowerBuilder. PowerServer apps are built on top of state-of-the-art scalable software architecture, including microservices, web deploy, etc. Server API is customizable and extensible via user extensions project and the .NET Data Store component. Appian today is a rich ecosystem of software solutions focusing on rapid development of databases-centric cloud application. Snap Develop, .NET Data Store, REST API, Object Relational Mapping C# framework, PowerServer. This offers, in my opinion, key techniques to revolutionize traditional PowerBuilder deployment. .NET Data Store powered backend opens to web app and mobile development stacks, and also improves PowerBuilder developers' self-confidence, giving new business and consulting opportunity beyond the traditional, limited though, client-server maintenance. So all in all, migration from IWA to ICA has begun in 2024 and absorbed team resources otherwise dedicated to extending functional aspects. In other words, the migration has certainly slowed down planned application enhancement in 2025, but it was a mandatory upgrade to avoid Alphabox could lose traction and appeal among the customers. Thank you very much for your attention. Let me pop up for a couple of seconds the Appian Connect with Us slide. And that is it.
Now is Q&A time. Welcome to join our live Q&A Zoom meeting with the presenter. You'll find the Zoom meeting link at the top of the chat panel and also in the resources area below. Just click and join us live. You can enter the meeting from the Zoom app or your browser. Just type your name and click Join. You'll be in a waiting room until the meeting starts, and you'll join automatically once it begins. Now that you're in, you have 10 minutes to ask the presenter any questions about this session. Don't miss the chance.